Welcome to Big Daddy Storytime. We're reading Thomas and Friends, Annual 2003. Thomas, Percy, and the Dragon. Thomas and Percy are very good friends. They always stop to have a chat if they have time. Even if you are in a hurry and can't stop, they always say beep beep as they pass each other at the junction. Sometimes Percy teases Thomas. He thinks it's good fun, but Thomas doesn't like it when Percy teases him. It makes him feel a little silly. One evening, Thomas was dozing in the shed. He was tired, but Percy wanted to talk. "Wake up, Thomas," said Percy. "Are you dreaming about the time you thought I was a ghost?" "No, of course not," said Thomas. "Anyway, I knew it. It was you pretending to be a ghost. I was only pretending to be scared." "Oh, I see," said Percy. "It's very dark tonight. I hope the guard leaves the lights on for you." "Why?" said Thomas. "I'm not afraid of the dark. In fact, I quite like it." "Do you?" said Percy. "I'm surprised to hear that, Thomas. I always thought you were afraid of the dark." Thomas did not like Percy teasing him, so he said nothing and went to sleep. The next day, the Fat Controller had a special job for Thomas. "I need you to go to the harbor tonight," he told him. "I want you to collect something rather unusual." "What sort of something?" asked Thomas. The Fat Controller smiled. "Wait and see," he said. Later on, Percy was moving some trucks into a sliding when Henry arrived with his goods train. The signal man switched the points, and Percy waited in the siding until Henry had steamed past. But then there was trouble. "The points are jammed," called the signal man. I can't switch them back. The switchmen have all gone home now, so they'll have to mend them in the morning." Poor Percy was still in the siding. He couldn't get out. "I'm sorry, Percy," said driver. "You'll have to stay here for the night. Goodbye." "But where are you going?" asked Percy. "We're going home for our supper," said the fireman. "See you in the morning." Percy was left all alone. One by one he watched the other engines steam into the shed. Night came, and Percy felt very lonely. He missed his friends. He looked around. "Oh dear," he said, "it's very, very dark." Suddenly he heard a loud sound. "Hoo hoo, hoo hoo." The sound made Percy jump, but when he laughed, "Silly me," he said, "it's only an owl making a hooting sound." It was very dark, and Percy was still in the siding when he heard a loud noise, and a big, big shape loomed out of the darkness. It came towards him, closer and closer. Then it puffed and huffed right past him. Percy couldn't believe his eyes. "It's a dragon," he said. "Help! Oh, I wish Thomas was here with me. I'm scared." He closed his eyes tightly. "I'm not going to open them until my driver comes tomorrow morning," he said. Next morning the workmen mended the points, and Percy puffed out of the siding at last. He met Gordon at the junction. "You'll never guess what I saw last night, Gordon," said Percy. Gordon was in no mood for guessing games. "I'm a busy engine," he said. "I don't have time for games." "It was a dragon," said Percy. "A really, really big, enormous one, with a fierce face." Gordon snorted. "What nonsense," he said. "A dragon indeed." Percy told the other engines about the dragon, and they all laughed at him. "Be careful it doesn't gobble you up," said James. Percy felt a bit silly. "No one believes me," he said. "Perhaps I didn't see a dragon after all. It might have been a dream." But just then Thomas steamed by with a dragon. Percy beep beeped loudly. "Oh, look, it is a dragon," he said. "Help!" Thomas stopped. "Don't be frightened, Percy," he said. "Look, it's not a real dragon. It's a paper one. I collected it from the harbor last night. I'm taking it to the carnival for the Fat Controller." Oh, said Percy. By the way, I heard that you had spent the night in the siding. How was it? Asked Thomas. Percy told the truth. Well, it was quite frightening, he said. I was a bit scared. Thomas smiled. I think we all get a bit frightened sometimes, he said. But we're not afraid to tell each other, and that's brave, isn't it? Yes, it is, said Percy. Beep, beep. What have we learned today, my friends? We learned from Thomas and Percy that telling our friends and family when we are afraid is part of being brave. Have a great day today, my friends. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Big Daddy Story Time. God bless.